Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel Dharani the Practical AI Dev. In today's video, we will learn about what is production RAG. So in previous videos, we have learned what is RAG and we have demonstrated a simple AI powered HR assistant RAG application. So before we start the production RAG, first learn about what is RAG. So RAG, it is nothing but user asks the question and it will convert the question into a embedding. Embedding is nothing but the numbers and it will store that number into the vector DB and it will retrieve from the DB and we will send that response to the LLM as a prompt and we will get the answer. So this is the RAG. Why we need a RAG? Because we can ask any questions to LLM, but if LLM doesn't know few details like your company policy and your HR policy, those things, so it will hallucinate. So instead of avoiding that, we are going to this RAG. RAG, it is personalized one, so you can upload your company related PDFs or TXT files to the RAG, the vector DB, and you can retrieve that from the document and you will send that to the LLM, so that LLM give you the proper answers. So that is the usage of the RAG. So now production RAG. So there is a simple difference between this production RAG and the simple RAG, the normal one, because in simple RAG, in our previous demo, you might already saw. I can show you the demo quickly. So this is our previous. We have demonstrated this AI powered assistant. HR assistant. So what we did in this demo, we just we created the ChromaDB, that's a vector database, and we have created the collection, and we already created the company each documents like insurance policy document, leave policy, travel policy, and then work from home policy, a simple txt files. And what we did is we just convert that text into a embedding format and we have stored that into the collection, and after storing it, we will retrieve that in the what we have did is we are getting the collection and we will retrieve that from the vector DB, and from that DB result we have passed it in the context of the LLM, prompt of the LLM, and we are calling the chat the Ollama LLM, and we are getting the response. So this is a simple RAG application, but for production it is quite different. For example, if your company have 10,000 PDF documents and 25 HR documents and then 1,000 employees, and they have a 500 MB of documents, each document have 500 MB, and every document and new documents come every week. So this simple RAG will still work? No, it won't work, because the production RAG add the several improvements. So that's why we are going to the production RAG. So in the same RAG, this demo, the HR assistant demo, we can I will show you how the production architecture will look like. So first we will upload all the HR documents, and then each document we will load the document loader like a txt file or the PDF for the document loader. From that only we will extract the text. So they will extract the text and we will do the chunking. So the chunking is the important concept in the production in this production RAG, and then we will add the metadata, and then we will go to the embeddings, and we will store that in the vector DB, and once after we stored it, we will do the hybrid search and we will get the prompt from that. We will get the result from the vector DB, send that in the prompt LLM. The remaining process is same as the simple RAG. So first we will learn about few concepts in the production RAG. The first one is chunking. So if your HR policy document has, so for example, 200 lines of text. So what we will in our current simple application in this insurance policy, we store this into one single embedding document. But for 200, it will, if you store all the 200 lines, so the retrieval becomes less precious because unrelated topics are mixed together. So instead of that, we will split it to a smaller chunks. So for example, in HR policy document, the chapter 1 has a company introduction, chapter 5 or 6 has a leave policy. In that itself, the maternity leave, paternity leave, everything, and then there is a travel policy. So they have a different chapters. So what this chunking will do is, first chunk will do company introduction, second chunk annual leave, third is maternity leave. So you have to define the chunk size, like of one page and like 200 characters or something. So that chunk, that's why this chunking is important. Because for example, I'll give you a small example. So if someone is asking some question and they want some answer, instead of your giving someone an entire book, you hand them a few pages that answer their question. So that's actually a chunking. So the chunking size, it is small size, small chunk we can do, that has a little information. You can do a large chunk, that is a HR information. So it's based on your details, the document size. So there is one important topic in the chunking. So chunking, one important topic is chunk overlap. So for example, in your chapter 1 you have a company information, and your chapter 2 has a leave policy, chapter 3 has a what is that, insurance policy. So when you do the chunking, your first chunk and second chunk should not overlap. So it should, what it should do is, it should give the some relation between them. So that is the chunking. So this preserves the context across chunk boundaries. So that is the chunk overlap. Next one is metadata. So metadata. So every chunk should include the additional information. First, company information. For example, you have a company information in one chunk. So you have to mention the page number 1. It has a category as a company information. And then next, page 2, it has a leave policy information. Page 3, it has a travel policy information. So those kind of metadata you have to define. So that is the purpose of metadata. So this is a part of the text. So this helps narrow the search actually. Okay, so now let's go to hybrid search. So hybrid search is vector search actually finds with similar meanings. For example, in our current thing, I just asked, can I work from home? What it does is, it just go to all the documents, and it finally searched the work from home document, and it gave me this particular answer. So instead of that, this is actually doing the vector search. But what if have a multiple chunk of data? So it should, this vector search will not work perfectly. So in that we will do the keyword search. So with hybrid search is nothing but it is a combination of vector search plus keyword search and vector search. So both the results will combine and it will give you the best document. So that is the, so keyword search is nothing but the elastic search. You might have heard about elastic search. So that will do, and it will give you the best document. So that is the purpose of the hybrid search. So the next one is re-ranking. So if you know about the embeddings, so the embedding results have some similarities, the cosine similarity. Like a point, if you search something like work from home, it will check multiple documents, and there is some similarities like 0.85, 0.84, 0.83. So that is the similarity between all these chunks. So which one is having the highest similarity? So that it will ranking. So the LLM receives the best chunk first, based on that re-ranking. So that is the purpose of the re-ranking. The final concept is citation. So production assistant should never just answer. For example, you are asking how many days of maternity leave I have. So it just give 180 days. But production assistant should not give like that. It should give you the actual LLM details along with that source and which page it has. So that is the citation. It should give clear details. Okay, so now I think in our previous demo I already demonstrated this particular, but I can just show you again. What I'll do is I'll ask the, okay, how many paternity leaves uh, I will get. So this is my question. So what it is doing is it is doing the vector search, and it will generate the prompt, and prompt will send it to the LLM, and then LLM will give you the response. So here along with that you will get the source. So for example, employee can get 15 days of paternity leave. So this is coming from the LLM and with the source of the RAG vector DB. So this source is a leave policy document. So currently it is in the leave policy document. So this is how the production citation works. You will get the source and the details, those details. So finally, we'll just show the differentiation between the simple drag and production drag. If currently we have only 4 text documents, so that is for simple. But if you have thousands of documents, then you need a production drag. It is one embedding per document, but it has hundreds of chunks per document. For example, in your work from in your leave policy, for example, this is chunk A, this is chunk B, and this is chunk C. So this kind of chunks will be there for each document, and there is no metadata for simple drag, but production drag should have a rich metadata, like this is for this category, and this particular chunk is for this category. And there is a basic similarity search, like a vector search, but for this should have a hybrid search plus re-ranking, so that the chunk will come first. And there is no citations, but it has a source citations, and manual document loading. This has a automatic document ingestion. This is mainly for the beginner project, the project which we have done, but this is for the entire enterprise application, like your company RAG, or your company HR support assistant. For those things you need this enterprise application. So this is the purpose of the production drag. Hope you understood about what is the simple drag and production drag from this video. We will see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye bye.